Alright, Shalom Hakim, Shalom. First and foremost, Kal, Lalimla, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Haruka Kodash. Second, let the elders, the rule, become worthy and ever honors, especially they who labor in the word doctrine, which will be the apostles and the elders of Glam Wisdom, GMS. They don't say peace and salutation to all the Hakims in the houses and byways. Continue to push this truth in all honesty and feel the name with Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kodash. And, of course, Shalom to the elect. My name is Agabaga from the camp of Grimoso here in Toronto. I'll get another presentation. This video I'm not going to this video that came across a couple of days ago, like of Oprah Winfrey, like when she had like some guests on her show, when she had the Oprah Winfrey show, and they were actually going into like talking about like UFO and kind of how they look like, but like it was kind of making a mockery of it. But as I play this video, you're gonna see how spiritual it is. How our people, they have hope, like for salvation, but they really, as in they know, but they really don't know, right? I think going back to when people on slavery, they had the songs like swing low, sweet chariot, coming to carry me home. Right, like they knew that as in the spirit, that they eventually, as in they're gonna be saved out of like the calamity, out of like all this turmoil that we've been going through. But like, and now it's evident, now these so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of the Heavenly Father, they're being made manifest. And now it's clear that that there's actually, that it is not just a conspiracy. It's not just a conspiracy theory, right? It's actually it's a real. There's videos about it. The government came out saying how this so-called UFO or UAPs are real. That how like they have very advanced technology, and they have, and how the government has no chance to actually fight against them, because as in the technology is far superior than they have. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this video, and I'm bring out this precept. And a lot of links at elect. Shalom.
I'm talking today to women who say they have been abducted by aliens from another planet. And you're going to describe to us what they look like.
May I briefly say, I don't know for a fact that they're from another planet. I assume so, but I am dealing with a lot of unknowns. I don't know where they come from. I just can describe what I saw. I don't have the answers.
Well, you weren't in Kansas anymore, Toto.
And I wasn't wearing red shoes that I could click together
I mean, okay, so, and they look like?
They're humanoid as far as the body, very small frames, about 3.5 to 4 feet tall. And I found myself laughing to myself when I saw them, because I just saw one being, actually.
Well, obviously, she doesn't know what she's talking about. But it's because it is, the angels, that are in the UFO are so-called tall black men, over 6 feet tall. They're not like some, miniature, like, dwarfs or midgets, like trying to make it out to seem like, the people, the angels in the UFOs are tall, dark-skinned men. They have this video that came out. I actually trying to look for it on YouTube, but I couldn't find it. This guy, I believe he was part of the CIA or some kind of government agency, and came out and said like how like they had files of that they saw the beings that came out of the so-called UFOs, and they were tall, dark-skinned men with really black skin, right? So like over 7 feet tall. So this woman right here, she's saying the truth, but she's not really saying the truth.
Because the skin was very, very dark olive green. So dark it could be mistaken for black. And I even laughed to myself.
All right! All right!
No. I laughed to myself.
We're
because...
in control in outer space!
Khan. Yeah, so, as in, I mean, even though, as in, it seems to be, some kind of, as in, making jest out of it, deep down in her, in the spirit, she's happy to actually, like any so-called black person, has like, we always have like a, some kind of like, like thought or, or feeling, that, that there's more to to our lives than the so-called white man has made us to believe. You see, so let me actually get this in the book of some Songs of Wisdom of Solomon, coming out of the Apocrypha. So this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, start from the top. It says, Then shall their righteous men stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and bear no account of his labors. That's talking about the elect. The elect, have waking up, boldly, on the highways and byways. You see the men of the Lord, standing boldly, proclaiming, the truth in boldness, and in, and authority, and we talking down to this so-called, to these Edomites, down to the face, telling them who we are, telling them, that we have, that the kingdom is falling down, and we're coming into our own kingdom, which is the kingdom of heaven, right? It says, then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him, and who has afflicted us, the so-called white man, and these other nations, mainly the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, the devil himself, he has put us in slavery, he has afflicted us, in many ways that we can even describe, man, because as it is, he's even trying to actually give us that stabbing jab and afflict us more, right? It says, and made no account of his labors, and like going back to slavery, and they have not made, they have not tried to repair, our, our sweat, our blood, sweat, and tears that we shed for them, and they could care less, right? The point is in the second verse going on down. It says in verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with great fear, right? It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with great fear. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And that's going into the chariots, man. Also, the chariot, when the chariots come to save, Yasha Allah, send the elect, these people, they're gonna be blown away. They're gonna be like, they're gonna be questioning, like how come, these people, actually, that we had, under us, under our feet for all this time. These people actually, they actually, they actually extraterrestrial, so to speak, right? They're going to be completely, as in flabbergasted, right? Next verse says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb and a reproach, right? Calling us niggers, spigs, wetbacks, calling us, red skin, talking about the Native Americans, calling us, as in, wetbacks, spigs and spooks, all this kind of, all this calling us niggers, right? All this kind of, like proverb, all these derogatory names, calling us, as in the minority, all these are, all these are just names to put us down, right? But they're gonna be, they're gonna be completely, flabbergasted, when they see, how you're going to be delivered from this place. We're gonna be getting beamed out of this hellhole, man. Right? Lord willing, I'm part of that number. Next verse says that we fools accounted our life madness. It's like we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. As in the the so-called, as in the society, they think, like all that so-called black men, is gonna amount to, is either like, being shot, or being shot dead, or end up in jail, right? Or somehow, or maybe like even like, being aborted, So they don't really see, us to be, to have any hope, and they think, completely hopeless people, but they're gonna be, they're gonna be completely surprised, completely shocked when they see our salvation. Says next verse, how is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints, right? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. You see, so they're going to be completely, shocked, amazed. Even all these so-called, people that come against us, like Volker Malone, and all these, like Pastor David Lynn, when they see this, as in, even though they know, they hear what we say, and they know that we are right somehow, they're gonna believe it when they actually see, the chariots come and save us. They're gonna be completely, shocked, and like in disbelief, giving up the ghost and shit like that. You see? Can say that. Next verse 6. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth. The light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness was not upon us. So they thought, that they had the truth, as in, they thought that Christianity was the way, but they're gonna be so surprised when they see when they know that the truth all along, was the apostles and the elders of real wisdom, right? The Israelites. It says that verse 7, we were ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord Yahweh Shai, we have not known it. See, next verse says, what hath pride profited us, or what good hath riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things have passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by, and as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the waves. It's like, all this that they have, all their little, like, as in, like the so-called white supremacy, the so-called, that great white pride that they have, they're gonna say, like it was all for nothing. It was all for naught because it's gonna be done away with, right? Tells you, that Babylon the Great is gonna be destroyed in less than an hour, man. In 1 hour time period, America's gonna be gone, right? It's like all these years, like all these centuries that they had, of glory, of dominion, it's gonna seem like, it's like a shadow that passed, that passed away, right? So there's more to this, Let's go down to jump down to verse 13. It says that even so we in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to withdraw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to shew, but were consumed in our own wickedness. You see, so I mean, like, all this is all this time, going back, as in from when they came to the Confederates came to America, they massacred the so-called Native Americans, they put the so-called black men in slavery, and they, oppressed, the so-called Latinos, and all the people, have suffered for all this time. All the time is gonna seem, like, like a complete waste of time, because as it's not gonna bring them any kind of as in it's only gonna, like, basically they're gonna regret all these things that they've been doing to us. You see, so I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I probably this was the elephant elect. I'm gonna say birthday har shy. The bonus the Paul Nelson Gilmiston, Shalom elect Shalom.
All right.
I laughed at myself.
I believe you, girl.
I found myself laughing to myself when I saw them because I just saw one being, actually. Because the skin was dark olive green, so dark it could be mistaken for black. And I even laughed to myself.
All right. All right.
No. I laughed to myself.
We're in control in outer space.